Magandang hapon, Pilipinas at buong mundo. Naitay Kapuso, pahiram po ng 20 minutes ng inyong hapon. Ako po si Boy, and welcome to Fast Talk with Boy Abunda. We have 9,500 people in the studio. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nanonood sa YouTube at Facebook at sa lahat ng nakikinig po sa DZWB. Welcome to the program. Look at this cover. Wow. Naitay Kapuso, please welcome a guest. Napakaganda inside and out. Donita Rose.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow. Please.
Thank you.
Kumusta?
Mabuti. Sobrang saya.
At ang ganda.
Di masyado.
Sandali. At habang pinag-uusapan natin yung ganda, from the very beginning ba, did you always know that you were beautiful? And you still are, huh?
Oh, well, thanks. When I was a little girl, I would always remember na sinasabi talaga sa akin ng mga tao, mukha kang manika. That's what I would always hear people say. So, in my mind, yes, but as I got older, I got more awkward as a teenager. So, meron isang girl sa school na pinaka-popular. She was like half Filipina, half American. Na siya yung pinakasikat sa school. Tapos
sa Amerika ito?
No, sa Clark Air Base.
Sa Clark, okay.
Tapos, parang ako yung katwin niya. Ibig sabihin, parang we look exactly alike. Pero ako yung pinakamahiyain na babae.
Okay.
So, nung nag-showbiz ako, na-discover ako sa showbiz, lahat nagtaka parang, bakit siya? Hindi naman, wala naman siyang mga kaibigan, hindi ako basta sobrang
You were not the other girl, in other words.
Yes.
Diba?
So parang hindi ako deserving mag-artista. But eventually with showbiz and, di ba parang nag-umpisa ako bilang quasi-comedian dahil hindi ako magaling mag-Tagalog. So parang ako yung pang-finale ng That's Entertainment dun sa That's Acting dahil laging palpak, alam nila yon. So natatawa sila hanggang sa parang nabibuild yung confidence ko.
Right.
And then I ended up doing Over the Bakod and all of these other things. So I think with time, nagkaroon ako ng confidence. But in my mind, I don't really consider myself beautiful. I consider myself like a beautiful soul, but not a beautiful...
You're both.
Well, maybe now I can accept that more, but not so much before.
I mean, you know, you are the other Filipina to hit the cover of Time magazine,
Yeah.
Donita. I mean, napakaganda, but I love listening to you.
Oh,
Totoo yan.
thank you.
Talking about this. Kasi hindi katulad namin na nag-iilusyon na, lalo na si Chang Susan. But you're just really beautiful inside and out.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
I remember our last conversation, but before we go there, how was the journey to finding love again?
Oh, gosh. Parang nananaginip.
There he is.
I know, parang nananaginip pa rin ako. Hindi ako makapaniwala na may asawa na ako ulit.
Bakit?
And I don't know. It's just like, ang dami kong dinaanan bago ako nakarating dito. And I think you saw a little bit of that. There was like matinding depression ang pinagdaanan ko. And for somebody, I think as jolly and as happy as I am, to go through depression, I couldn't understand it at the time. But now, hindi ako nagsisisi or wala akong regrets sa pinagdaanan kong yan kasi parang ngayon ako naging buo. Actually, nangyari yun before I met Felson.
Okay.
Parang medyo feeling ko, now I know who I am. My identity is not in another person kasi there was a time nung hiniwalayan ako ng asawa ko na parang, who am I now? You know, iniwan ako. Marami akong, parang ginajudge ako ng mga tao na, nako, baka yan, for whatever reason, tumaba kasi hindi na siya maganda. So parang, in a sense, your identity is like, okay, hindi na ba ako buo kung hindi kumpleto ang identity ko? Na
No, and you start believing all these voices. Pag sa kauulit, naniniwala ka somehow, di ba?
Yes.
You were saying, go ahead.
There was a lot of internal struggles. But eventually, I just decided to, I know this sounds really corny, pero bumalik ako sa aking first love, na ang Panginoon Jesus. And so as I got back to the Word of God, I was reminded of my identity in Christ, not in who I am as a person, but in who He is in my life.
Going through pain, at saka lahat ng iyong pinagdaanan, luha, depression, nawala ka? I mean, humiwalay ka sa Diyos?
No, pero may tampo ako. Kasi I've been a Christian my whole life. I've been
Right.
reading my Bible ever since I was a little girl hanggang
Nagtampo
ngayon.
ka?
Nagtampo ako. And it's not bad. Hindi naman masama yun sa Panginoon kasi we can be ourselves.
And the line that you were saying to him was?
Bakit ako?
Oo.
Bakit ako? Faithful naman ako sa'yo, di ba? I mean, makasalanan naman tayong lahat eh. Obviously, hindi ako perfect. And now that I'm much older, I look back and I go, shoot, yun yung mga kasalanan ko na nagbitaw ako ng salita na kaya kong mabuhay na wala ka. You know, yung mga ganong klaseng salita, nakakadig ka ng sarili mong grave.
I get it.
Those are things that I really regret. But, you know, Romans 8:28 says that God works everything around for the good for those who love Him and are called according to His purposes. You know, we make mistakes in life, pero if you just ask for forgiveness and you say, Lord, ikaw na ulit, ikaw magdirect sa akin, He will bring you back to a good place.
And you did ask for forgiveness.
I have so
And
many
have you
times.
forgiven yourself?
Oo naman.
Alam mo,
oo
the
naman.
last time we spoke, naalala na, nagtatawanan tayo because I asked you that question, talking about your ex. Donita, have you forgiven? Naalala mo yun? No?
Yes. I was promoting a movie and then kinakabahan ako, kakahiwalay ako noon. And then you said, Donita, the first question, have you forgiven him? Tapos naramdaman ko yung kung anong nasa loob, gumaganon siya ng palakas. Tapos nag-pray ako, sabi ko, Lord, bigyan mo ako ng medyo witty na response para hindi masyadong dramatic. Tapos sabi ko, huwag kang mag-alala, Tito Boy. Pinatawad ko na yung hayop na yan. And then, tumawa ka. Tapos sabi ko, ay, salamat na ginawan ako. Pero nagalit yung family niya.
Okay.
So, I mean, hindi na po siya hayop. Pasensya na. And there was a time when he did tell me to make a public apology for saying that. And I did when I was being interviewed, on social media and stuff. But, once and for all, I'm truly sorry. When I said that, it wasn't because I wanted to shame the other person. I was just trying to actually make it lighter at the time.
That was the intention.
That was the intention,
Right.
but,
And Felson, I mean, let's talk about... Kinikilig. Felson, how did you find each other? Paano?
Wow. Well, so when I found myself again, and I got to a point, actually, I had work that day. I was working in Island Pacific Supermarkets as their corporate chef for R&D, and I had my first show with G Tonji. It was the fishball eating challenge.
G, okay.
Yes, we had this fishball eating challenge. So, parang kasi mag-host ako that day. Not the usual chef thing, but I was hosting. And kinabahan ako ng konti. So sabi ko, I'll spend time with the Lord. So nagbasa ako ng Bible, nag-worship pa ako, umiyak pa nga ako ng tears of joy. Sabi ko, wow, I'm in such a good place in my life right now where my tears are no longer about pain but joy. Like parang buo ako. And then I was on the floor. I was like kneeling, okay? And then bago ako tumayo, sabi ko, teka, Lord, total nandito na ako. Sayang naman. Bigyan mo na ako ng asawa. That was February 12, was it 2021 or 22? But
2022.
22, I think.
Yeah,
and then
right.
3 weeks later we met. As a matter of fact, if not today or yesterday was the first time that we met up for our first date. So
You prayed for him.
I prayed for it. I had a prayer list. Very specific. Sabi ko, gusto ko ng parang pwedeng pastor, pwedeng worship leader. Dapat Pinoy or at least half. Dapat gwapo, syempre. Dapat matangkad pa sa akin. Dapat siya yung magiging breadwinner kasi marami akong pinagdaanan
At
doon.
lahat ng yan.
Hindi lang yan, dapat nakakatawa. Tapos, nag-joke pa ako kay Lord na hindi ko talaga akalain. Sabi ko, Lord, sana maging virgin ang asawa ko. Natupad.
Okay. No, it was a prayer. I
Yeah,
understand.
and so when I met him and we started like talking as friends and then eventually we started dating, he says, may confession ako sa'yo. Virgin pa ako. Tapos hindi ko siya sinagot. Sabi niya, bakit? Na-turn off ka na ba? Sabi ko, alam mo ba na yun yung prayer ko kay Lord? Na hindi ko akalain nakakatawa pala si Lord. Na kaya niyang sagutin pati yung pinaka-small things.
Alam mo, Donita, I wish this were a midnight show. We can go to town.
Oh my gosh, we can! In
But
very,
this is an afternoon show. Pero dadating tayo dyan. No, okay. Iwanan muna natin si Felson sandali. We have 20 minutes, okay? You remember the 90s.
Of course.
What is your fondest memory? I mean, your friends, hanggang ngayon nakikita-kita pa rin kayo, no? Rufa, sila Carla, Sunshine.
Yes.
Lahat sila. What is your fondest memory?
I would say yung mga kalokohan namin. Naalala ko si Carla Estrada noon. Siyempre, mahirap pa lang siya noon. Is that the word? Na may dumaan sa financial hardships.
Of course.
And yung car niya...
I'm just very open about it.
Yeah, stick shift na yung patirik-tirik pa yung kotse. And she asked me and Rufa to be the ninang kay Daniel.
Okay.
And we said, absolutely, and we went out to drink that night. And ang daming mga kalokohan ng mga friends ko.
Okay.
Yeah, so whenever I see them now, wala kaming ginagawa kundi tumawa ng tumawa.
And we see that. We see that in social media. Tawa lang kayo ng tawa and you're very happy. Marami kang binasted na mga artista na
Siyempre, marami.
No, you were the top VJ of your time, hitting the cover of Time magazine. Pero ano yun? What was the groove? Ano ang sayaw during that time?
What do you mean, like, anong
I mean,
sayaw?
the groove. Di ba may mga ano sila ngayon? Jug, 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 jug.
Ano ba yung mga klaseng sayaw noon?
I mean, how were you doing it on air? Remember when you were VJing? What was the sound? What was the vibe?
Oh, like, I don't know. Yung mga Britney Spears noon. I don't quite understand what your question is. Like, what was
it's like, di ba, every generation has a vibe. Every generation has a sayaw na uso. What was that move during the 90s? How were you moving? How were you dancing? What dance do you remember? The song's Britney Spears. Okay. Why?
Well, I remember back in the day, every time somebody would say, do the VJ pose, like, I didn't like...
That's the VJ pose. But you danced, right?
Oh, yeah. Ang pinagyayabang ko sa mga tao, wala naman nakakapag-verify, pero ako yung isa sa mga nag-pioneer ng hip-hop dance dito sa Pilipinas. Huwag kayo aangal.
Hip-hop as in? Try.
Ha? Hindi kasi ano bang kanta? Wala bang kanta?
Kahit wala muna. There. Oh. Wow!
Yeah.
It's so good. Let's do fast talk.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
2 minutes while standing. We have 2 minutes to do this. Our time begins now. Utah, Manila.
Manila.
Artista, kusinera.
Artista.
Ipagluluto mo, ipagluluto ka.
Ipagluluto ko.
Paborito mong lutuin for Joshua.
Kokovan.
Paborito mong lutuin for Felson.
Picadillo.
Kung dessert si Felson, ano siya?
Kape!
Kung gamit ka sa kusina, ano ka?
Espresso machine?
Kung ulam ang kaibigan mo, ang mga kaibigan mo, anong klaseng ulam si Vina?
Danggit!
Si Rufa.
Lechon, hindi, joke lang. Caviar.
Si Sunshine.
Sunshine, ano yung puti? Yung puto bongbong ba yan? Hindi, yung puti.
Maha Blanca?
Maha Blanca.
Okay, Carla.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Champagne. Kasi
Okay.
probably.
Ilan ang nanligaw sa'yo sa showbiz?
Hindi ko na mabilang.
Ilan ang binasted mo?
Ay, yung una, isa lang. Yung pangalawa, wala, hindi ko na
Your
mabilang.
biggest achievement?
MTV, Time Magazine.
Your biggest fear?
Oh, my son would not serve the Lord.
What do you pray for every day?
That my son would love the Lord with all his heart, mind, soul, and strength.
Best thing about your husband, Felson?
Lahat.
His love language?
Touch.
Your love language?
Service.
Is that lights on or lights off?
Ay, conservative ako, lights off.
Happiness or chocolates?
Happiness.
Best time for happiness?
Morning! Sheena! Nandun ang kapatid ko, sister-in-law.
Okay, Donita, complete the sentence. Now I know for sure that marriage is...
Pure bliss.
Ilang katanungan lang. No, you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a daughter, you're many. but who are you first? That's number one. Number two, ang pinakamahalagang leksyon sa buhay at pag-ibig na natutunan mo. Ang mga kasagutan po sa pagbabalik ng Fast Talk with Boy Abunda. Back in the show with Donita. I would like to greet some of our friends. Happy birthday, Gretchen Barreto. I think is celebrating her birthday tomorrow. Don Zulueta is celebrating her birthday kahapon. Today, our good friend Shirley Kwan. Nung isang araw naman, June Rufino. To all of you, I love you and happy birthday. Okay, you have an independent film. An indie film na ginawan mo kasama si Felson.
Yes.
Talk about it a bit.
Okay, so, well, I got offered this film. It's called Malice in Manila. It's going to be seen on Amazon Prime this coming March. And I play the role of a mail order bride. So parang may makikilala akong American Pakistani guy, very wealthy.
Played by?
He's not a known actor,
okay.
but
Felson plays?
Well, Felson plays my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
So siya ang kontrabida ng film. And when I was being interviewed for the film, nung kasama ko si Felson kasi siya yung nag-drive, and then the director found out they're both from Cavite kasi Filipino yung director. And then he said, I think
But hindi na lang ikaw.
Yeah, but hindi na lang ikaw.
Okay,
and
good.
I couldn't stop laughing for like a week kasi parang hindi ako makapaniwala na ang kalaban ko sa pelikula yung, my husband in real life.
Well, mapapanood ho natin ngayong Marso sa Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, Malice in Manila.
Malice.
Hindi malas,
Malice in Manila. Pinaka-importanteng leksyon na natutunan mo sa pag-ibig at sa buhay. Ano ito?
I think that it's so important to know who you are, well, your identity, basically. I am a child of God, and when all the negative things come along, I just brush them aside and I say, no, hindi totoo yan. I am a child of God. I am not ugly. Hindi ako maghihirap. I'm going to, so...
You listen to that voice inside. Sabi nga ni Oprah, it begins as a whisper until it becomes louder and louder and louder when you're able to block off the noise.
Yes.
Ang ganda naman. You're a mother, you're a daughter, you're a wife, you're many, you're an actor. Who are you first?
A child of God. Yeah, definitely.
Right. And talking about it, you are at the pearly gates and God is there. And, he says, Donita, before you come into heaven, ano ang pinaka magandang bagay na ginawa mo para sa akin? What would you say?
Mahalin ka.
Wow.
Yeah. Nobody's perfect, and people think that people have this impression na napaka-religyoso ako, na nagmamalinis and everything. Actually, truth be told, I'm Mary Magdalene. Ang dami makasalanan talaga ako. But I was able to take all of that and give it to God and say, God, I need you to save me. I need you to forgive me. And because of that, I love him so much that everything in my life is dedicated to him. And it doesn't matter what happens to my life. Actually, before Felson came around, I was already complete. But the fact that I met a guy who loves God as much as I do is like, that's where the dream is, that parang hindi ako makapaniwala na hindi ito panaginip kasi we're serving God together and we're loving God together. There's nothing better. Nothing.
Okay. Will you be doing films again? Will you be doing television? Ikaw ba'y babalik dito paminsan-minsan? Will you work in the United States? What is next?
Sana po. I mean, I would love to go back and forth, but ayoko naman na maging malayo sa asawa ko ng matagal. Ang pinakamatagal siguro sa akin, 1 buwan, gano'n.
Okay.
Katulad ngayon, kasi napaparusahan ng asawa ko. But hindi kasi importante sa akin na maging sikat or successful sa mata ng mundo. I'm happy where I'm at right now kahit hindi na ako magtrabaho. Sabi nga ng asawa ko, hindi mo na kailangan magtrabaho habang buhay. Ako ang bahala sa'yo.
Hindi, ang nakakatuwa. Kasi lahat yung enumeration mo, ibinigay ni Lord.
Yes,
diba?
yes.
Somebody
So
who can
now,
provide for me.
So I don't have to worry about finances anymore. I can just do life. And I'm not expecting a lot. Hindi naman mayaman ang asawa ko, pero mayaman kami sa mga experiences in life. And we're just enjoying and savoring every moment.
And he works hard. He works
does.
for the money.
Ang sipag niya.
Oh, correct.
Actually, sa mga gustong malaman kung ano yung trabaho
Yes.
niya, siya po ay isang singer sa mga retirement homes. Sa Orange County, these are like 5-star retirement homes, and he sings between 1 and 5 times a day.
No, but he says something. I mean, rehearsing with pay.
Oh yeah, sabi niya, matalino ako kasi ang trabaho ko, binabayaran nila ako para mag-practice.
Totoo. Di ba?
Yeah.
And you can imagine what kind of love he has for the elderly.
Yes.
Ito kasi yung mga hindi na nakaka-respond, but they sing to them. Kasi sabi nga nila, you know, I remember because I took care of nanay, inalagaan ko ang aking ina, she would respond to the sound of music.
Totoo yan.
Yeah.
Yung mga yung vegetable na sila sa upuan nila, hindi makakagalaw, nakatingin lang sa malayo. Pag kumakanta na si Felson, ayan na, bumabalik yung kanilang pag-iisip.
Donita, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
At maraming salamat. You promised me that when Felson comes back, you guys will come to the show.
Yes, I promise.
You promised. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I love to Felson, to Joshua Paul, and thank you for all that you are and for all that you do for others. Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Okay. Naitay Kapuso, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagpapatuloy sa amin, sa inyong mga tahanan at puso. Stay kind. Make your nanay and tatay proud. #say thank you. And just one, isa lang, do one good thing a day and make this world a better place. Goodbye for now. God bless.